Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is MacLean and I am here every Tuesday and Thursday to bring you guys true crimes that has happened here in Canada. So how is everyone doing? Did you guys miss me? I missed you. It's snowing right now where I am and that sucks because it's April. So that just really sucks. Also, I am so sore today. I do not know what I did. I did a workout yesterday, but I didn't think it was that bad. And then throughout the day, it wasn't too bad. And now I could barely get off the couch. I was like, oh, I was in so much pain. But yeah, how's everyone's doing? How's everyone's doing? How's everyone doing? How's your New Year's resolutions? Mine was to work out every day and I kind of slipped up. So I did tear my Achilles back in August. And now this is just a little side note about me. I tore my Achilles back in August and I had my surgery September to fix it. Then in December, I had to have another surgery due to infection. So they had to cut me open again, check it all out, make sure my infection didn't really do bad. And now they're talking about another surgery for me because of how my scar healed, how it's sticking out and keeps breaking open. So it's harder for me to heal. So it's now 9 months out, if maybe, 8 or 9 months out. And I still can't run, can't jump, can't do anything. And I hate it. I hate it so much. But that's enough about me. So welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow my socials here. And I don't want to say a good one. This one's actually pretty sad. It's based out of Newfoundland. So this story is about Samantha Walsh, a 13-year-old girl, grade 8 student. I'm going to put the name of the town here because I'm going to mispronounce it. And she disappeared on a Sunday walking to her grandma's house on an evening and she was never seen again alive. So get ready for this story. I'll be right back. So Samantha Walsh was born in Newfoundland. Her father, George, made sure that she was born in Newfoundland. And when I said that he made sure that she was born, he made sure. So in 1983, when Sam's mother, I think it's Miley is how you pronounce it, was 9 months pregnant, the family was living in Fort McMurray, Alberta at the time, which if you're not from Canada, Alberta is the second province to the west. So it goes BC is the closest one and then Alberta, and then Newfoundland is the farthest province east. So they are on different parts of Canada. If you have any type of geographical background of Canada, you kind of know a little bit, but if you don't, it's opposite ends. So they were living in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is probably because of oil and all that fun stuff in Alberta, oil, drugs, and being conservative. That's what Alberta's known for. So they were living in Fort McMurray, Alberta, and George piled his family into the car and was like, before you have Samantha, we are going to drive all the way back to Newfoundland, where we are from, to the town that we were raised in, so we can have our child in Newfoundland. So George piled himself, Miley, Sam's older brother, Sandy, into the small Nissan truck and headed back home. He quoted, "I wanted Sam to be a Newfoundlander," said Sam's dad, George. They arrived in that town's name. I'm going to try to pronounce it. It's like Fleur de Lis on May 1986. 8 days later, Sam was born. So that's kind of nice. George said that if Sam was born on the way to their hometown, he was going to lie and tell people that Sam wasn't born and then tell everyone that she was born in Newfoundland. Again, my face is just hurting today. It's been hurting all week actually. So George, he is a plant operator who makes sea oil. He is from the town, where he works is from the town right across from that town that I cannot pronounce, in Bay Vert. I don't know, I didn't realize Newfoundland had so many towns that were French. That's just me. But so he was living, well, he wasn't living, he was working in the town next to it. Sam was apparently a beautiful, bubbling young baby, which her mom said, who was a primary school teacher. Sam was raised in Fleur de Lis, which means flower of lily. It was a nice place to raise children by the sea in the town where also her parents was raised. So that was one of the main reasons why George really wanted to have Sam in Newfoundland, because he was raised there. You got family there. I'm from the East Coast. I get it. We live kind of the same thing. I was from Nova Scotia. All my family's back in Nova Scotia. And I am in Alberta. So, again, completely opposite ends of the country, especially with COVID. It is not fun. So they wanted to raise her around family. They wanted to raise her around people that she knew. And just, they really liked that town. So George and Miley built a home, which is very impressive, on the bluff near the harbor, which is just above the sea. George recalled the day he paid for the lumber. He went to talk to the sawmill operator, leaving Sam and the envelope of cash in the front seat of his truck. So very fond memories that he was having with having his daughter. They're kind of just, just reminiscing. When they did this interview with the parents, it was like you could just tell and see the love that they had for Sam and how much she meant to them. When George returned for the money, it was gone. Sam, who was about 2 years old at the time, had opened the envelope and thrown the bills out the windows to float in the wind. So just like a typical thing a 2-year-old do, right? Just another beautiful memory of Sam. The love that you can see with the family is just really great. But, just like a typical, I know when I was 2, I probably did some dumb stuff that pissed my parents off. But we're not going to get into that. Sam, her parents say, was the average student who loved music, loved sports, mostly soccer was kind of her thing, was passionate in life, was music. So in grade 7, Sam wrote in that she wanted to be a singer for her career and that she just loved music. And I guess she had a real eye for it. She was really good at piano and just an amazing, she had a good ear for music, and she liked all types of music. She liked just regular country music to old school music to just local music that was there. She just had a beautiful eye when it came to music. So they say Sam was just like your local 13-year-old. She wasn't into that much music. Not music, oh my God, wasn't into makeup. But she was into just everything else a typical 13-year-old would be into. She wasn't a fan of clothes, but wasn't vain. Sam didn't mind hauling on a pair of rubber boots. Her father said she liked teddy bears and Leonardo DiCaprio, but who doesn't like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? And Beanie Babies. And Valentine's, just, like the average kid. She was just an average 13-year-old. There were no piles of them from last year wrapped in a red ribbon at the bottom of her drawer. So I know her parents did keep a lot of Sam's stuff after this case. So on the evening of February 6, 2000, 13-year-old Sam Walsh left her grandmother's house to go home, which isn't that far away. And that was the last time Sam was ever seen alive. Michael Lewis, who was 16 at the time, took 13-year-old Sam on an ATV to a remote cabin out of the woods, just random. And he proceeded to try to have intercourse with her. She refused. She put up a fight. And while she was putting up a fight, that is when he started to choke her and unfortunately choked Sam to death. This type of killing understandably shocked the province. The town that they were in was such a small town. It was about 300 people. So for this to have happened in such a small town, it really just shocked everyone. So it took apparently 17 days of a mass search was undertaken for Sam while her parents and loved ones prayed for a happy outcome. They had search people, they had you name it looking for her because she went missing at this time. No one knew exactly what happened, where they were going to find her. So when you think of a typical sociopath, I have read in the past, a lot of the things that people who are serial killers or murderers do is they get involved in the search of the person that they murdered. So Lewis, he fit the sociopath type of demeanor. That he was pretty much categorized as a sociopath, actually taking an active part in the search for his lost friend. You don't really need a PhD to clinically diagnose this man as a sociopath. And I just think that's horrible that he was involved with this. Like, the parents are already suffering so much right now. So much. And he has the audacity, when he just took the life of somebody that they love so much, and he has the audacity to get involved and be like, hey, I can help. He probably even met the parents and had talks with the cops, like, where do you guys want me to go to look for this lady? And the whole time he knew exactly where Samantha was, or where the dead body of Samantha was. Everyone's having hope that they find Samantha, that she can come back home to the loved ones, and he's just making it a mockery pretty much. All along, the town was praying and, in mourning of what happened. Again, the town is a town of 300 people. It's not just something little that happened. This is a huge thing. So the town is in mourning. They're crying and praying. They're begging that they can get something to help. It's been 17 days. They need to know exactly what happened to Samantha. This is very unlike her. Clearly, she had a loving family, and they were very, very close, because the minute she went missing, the parents were like, hey, something's wrong. Lewis already knew he had taken Samantha out to the cabin, choked the life out of her in what must have been a slow, horrible death. Like, I don't think choking would really be, I wouldn't want to be choked to death. Like, I feel horrible for this. And she probably knew exactly what was going on the whole entire time. And he knew what he was doing. He knew he was killing Samantha. Lewis was in the process of eliminating every thought that Samantha ever had throughout she might ever have when he completed his awful murder. He knew he was doing, and he was murdering this woman. And then again, he's trying to help with this case. Like, that's the one thing that blew my mind, is how he was involved with it. Like, grow up. So what he did after he killed Samantha's life, what he did after he killed Samantha was he drove her on the ATV, her unconscious dead body, and dumped her into a snowbank. Then he hopped back on his ATV and he headed back to town, and he said he was just checking for rabbit snares and slips because he was out hunting, and that was his excuse of him being out there. The nightmare for Samantha's family began, and the horror story was just becoming more of a horror story for them. They are now 18 days out. They still have no clue what's going on, and they don't have a killer, or they don't know if she's alive or not. And I don't know, like, from all the cases and everything that I've done, I don't know why this one's pretty tough for me to talk about. It's just because she was a 13-year-old girl. She had a passionate, a loving family. She had people who cared about her. And then this guy does this, and then he joins the search party, which is something that I really don't like, and I really don't condone. But I don't like this guy. So throughout this search party for Samantha, Lewis actually kind of cracks under the pressure and tells the cops that he knows where Samantha's body is, and he brings them to the body finally. But again, this is like kind of really hard for the family because this dude was just participating, helping out, doing his best to be like, oh, I can help out. I'll do my best. She was a friend, you know, like there's always those people out there that the minute somebody passes away or dies, they act like they were the best friends, that they spent so much time with that other person when in actuality they didn't even like call or text or do anything with that person. We all know people like that. And then being the person who killed the woman? No. So with this case, what I found something that was very, very hard about my research is when it comes to publication ban, especially a case that is so new. I know it was in 2000, but that is pretty new. I know there's like a statute of limitations until there's like they can actually be released or anything like that. Since the convicted was so young and the murder victim was so young, it blew people out of the water about why this even happened. But again, so they caught the killer. They found out that I think his name was Michael, not Welsh, Lewis. He admitted to killing her. He told them exactly what happened, and he brought them to the body of Samantha Walsh. He tried to sexually assault her. He murdered her by choking her and dumped her into a snowbank, which is horrible. So there wasn't much about the trial that actually happened because, again, the individual was a minor at the time. But Michael Lewis, in my opinion, maybe should have been put in jail for quite a while. But unfortunately, he didn't. He was given life penalty. He was given life in jail, which is just 25 years in Canada. And then he was given 25 years and then he was released in 2013. So he got nothing. And this case was pretty, I don't have much information on it, just again with the publication bans. I find Canadian research is ridiculous trying to find anything. But one of the amazing things I found, after this whole thing, I think it's been a couple years now, is that the mother, brother, and like the strength that those people had, the mother, brother, and dad that they had for this, like the connection that they had. So they opened up a cafe / museum Give me a second. In their hometown where they're from and where Samantha's from, and it is now called the Samantha Cafe. And it has memorials of Samantha, it has photos of Samantha, it has pictures, letters that were written to her, it has anything you can possibly imagine about Samantha in it. So I had to go back and read something before, and I got his conviction wrong. So this man led them, Michael Lewis led, this is now making me mad, led this individual, the cops, to her dead body. He almost premeditated, knew he was going to kill this woman, this child, and he tried to sexually assault her. When she said no, he choked her to death. He disposed of the body. He led the cops into the body, and he was charged with 2nd-degree murder. That sounds premeditated to me. That sounds like somebody who thought about it. Yes, he was a minor when he did it, but people who are 16 can be charged as an adult in Canada. So I know it's kind of all over the place with this case, but now I'm mad. So the RCMP found Samantha's body buried in the snow after the investigation led it in that direction by the 16-year-old guy who told them to go that way. So he showed it to them. He was convicted of 2nd-degree murder in her death and granted full parole in 2013. So she was murdered in 2000. So this individual probably didn't go to jail. Did I have anything on my teeth? No. This individual probably didn't go to jail until 2001, 2002, released in 2013. I don't know about that one. So you're telling me he got 11 years in jail, if that, a year for every time, like almost a year for how long Samantha was alive, which I try not to be that vocal about my opinions about things, but this is a no. So yeah, I was a little pissed off about that. I do think that this individual should still be in jail. He murdered a 13-year-old. He tried to sexually assault them. It is just, that is a no. No, thank you. They probably shouldn't. He should still be in jail. I don't know why parole let this man out. So that's my final thoughts about that. I'm going to go back to Samantha's Cafe. So what they had in mind for Samantha's Cafe was they wanted to celebrate the life of Samantha, the girl who loved nature, outdoors, fishing, berry picking, and snowmobiling, and everything. So this cafe, like, I have some photos that I looked up, looks beautiful. And I do have family in Newfoundland, so if I ever do go to Newfoundland, I will be checking out this cafe because it looks amazing. Samantha Slatewater Joys is registered for a non-profit organization, but the idea to add a tea room or cafe came later. So Samantha already has a non-profit organization that you can donate to, and then they made this cafe in her honor of the building. So Sam's Place is purple and yellow building with a playful design and is relatively on the waterfront of Flowers of Lily or Fleur de Lis. I'm probably not saying that right. And the inside they built is a warm and inviting with walls and floors made of pine and birch and plenty of windows to welcome the natural light. So this one hurts because it's like, if you're really close with family members or have like a sibling or something, the passion and the outcry that the parents did. The mom came out multiple times. There's a book you can also get that's like Into the Night, this Samantha Walsh death. I kind of want to buy it and read it to know a little bit more exactly what happened. But the mom came out and said that like it was heartbreaking coming out doing press conferences almost every day, begging for someone to give the kid up, to give them back their daughter. And then to find out it was somebody who was trying to help in the investigation, who knew where she was the whole entire time and who just wouldn't say anything and just kind of played along with it like it was a game when her daughter was murdered out in the cold. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't know, like, even though she was dead, still have the decency of respecting the body. So you just let her sit there for 18 days. Like, and then the audacity of him being out now. I know he did have parole like a couple years before when he was released, and they did deny it due to they think that he was going to recommit. I know it is 2013 and we haven't heard anything of this individual in the crime world of Canada, so I don't think he has. But he also might have changed his name, so we don't know there. But those are my final thoughts. So let me know what you guys think below about this case. Like, does it get, like, it bugs me. This case really, really bugs me. I feel horrible for the Walsh family. Like, I couldn't even imagine that. Like, I don't have kids or anything, but if I did, or even just like losing my sister or something like that, it would really bother me. And then to have that guy involved in the case, like, it's a no. I would not take nicely to that. But let me know what you guys think 100% down below. This was a little, like, I thought I was okay with this case when I was researching it and stuff. And then, like, reading it out loud, it was kind of like, you could just feel the pain in the family, and that's all. And they're still trying to get over it. I don't think there's a timeline on when you can get over losing a relative, a loved one, or anything. Like, and they're trying so hard. They have this beautiful place, this Sam's Palace. It's just amazing, like, how they took something that was so horrific and they made something so beautiful with it. And, like, I do respect that, but it still doesn't bring back that loved one. It brings back the memories you had with her. But who knows what Samantha could have been in the future, right? No, she could have been a politician. She could have been a scientist. She could have been a human rights activist. She could have been just an activist for anything. Like, no one knows, because somebody had the audacity to take her life at such a young age and then to not get punished for it. That's where I get a little fishy. But all right, so those are my final thoughts. I really want to know what you guys think. I know I was a little bit all over the place with this case, but please let me know what you guys think down below. I'll be back here on Tuesday if you guys want to stick around, like and subscribe. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And like I said in my last video, if I get up to 100 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and share this video so all your friends can get together and watch it all together. I really appreciate all the love and support I've been getting. I know I got a lot recently and it just blows my mind. Thank you guys so much. I wouldn't be doing this without you. I just love it so much. So again, like and subscribe and follow my socials, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.